Time for a few examples. This is from our document Autocorrelation Practice. Now we're looking at the output below. We're going to test to see if autocorrelation is a problem with this model. Now, not specifying a particular type of autocorrelation, just is autocorrelation a problem with this model? Which means our HO and our HA, specifically our HA, is that row is just simply not equal to 0. We don't care if it's positive autocorrelation, negative autocorrelation, just any autocorrelation. HO is the opposite of HA, so the row is equal to 0. Step 2, alpha 0.05, that just comes out of the question. Step 3, we read the output, and we see we have a Durbin-Watson test statistic of 1.81. And really the 4187, whether you include that or don't include that, it's not really a big deal because, of course, the Durbin-Watson tables only go to 2 decimal spots anyway. N is equal to number of observations, which is 18, and K, we have one independent variable. Okay, so really very straightforward for steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 4 is where we draw the number line up, and even it's not too terribly complicated. So let's draw out my very crude number line where we have our Durbin-Watson lower, our Durbin-Watson upper. We've got our positive autocorrelation, our no autocorrelation, and then 4 minus the Durbin-Watson upper, 4 minus the Durbin-Watson lower, and then the negative autocorrelation zone, right? So little question marks there, little question marks there. Now we're going to look up in the tables, remembering a couple of things here. Remembering, first of all, that the Durbin-Watson sort of line here and the Durbin-Watson test was all derived to solve for positive autocorrelation. So the tables really are all sort of one-sided tables. When we see an alpha of 0.05, we're really looking for alpha 0.025. Right? We're just going to look in one of the tails, get the Durbin-Watson lower and the Durbin-Watson upper for that tail. Okay. So we look at our tables, we see k is equal to 1, n is equal to 18, and so we see a 1.03 and a 1.26 respectively. Okay. Again, we only do this alpha divided by 2 when we're testing for any autocorrelation. Okay, that's the only time we worry about this divide by 2 stuff. Next step, 4 minus 1.26, 2.74, and 2.97 respectively. So step 5, our Durbin-Watson test statistic of 1.814187 falls where? Falls between, right, in the no auto zone, so 1.26 and 2.74. Therefore, do not reject HO. Step 6, no evidence of autocorrelation. Now, intuitively, this is something we would expect because if you think of a number line that goes from 0 to 4, what's in the middle? 2. So 2 is going to be in the no auto zone regardless, no matter what. In every situation, 2 is in the no autocorrelation zone. And 1.81 is pretty close to 2. So we're not really surprised. Kind of would have suspected that 1.8 being very close to 2, that this was likely to indicate, this test was likely to indicate that there was no autocorrelation. Okay, so it kind of, that result, it makes sense for us. Okay. All right, so let's cut that off. And let's start the next one. Hey, if one was fun, the next one is even more fun. So this one asks for a specific style of autocorrelation. Is there evidence of positive autocorrelation? Okay. So in that case, HO and HA, okay, we state, and rho is going to be positive or greater than 0 for HA, rho less than or equal to 0 for HO. Step 2, Keeping with the same alpha of 0.05. Step 3, Durbin-Watson test statistic, 1.133869. So kind of small. So tilting towards the positive end of the autocorrelation zone, but we're not quite sure. Our number of observations was 18 here as well, and one independent variable. So let's draw out our number line. Okay. Positive. The I don't know zone, and no positive auto. Okay. That's an NO, not a 10. Okay. So let's look up in our tables, our Durbin-Watson tables. Now here we're just looking with 0.05, so we scroll down to the 0.05 portion. Oops, scroll up to the 0.5 portion. Okay. And n is equal to 18, k is equal to 1. So there's where I'm at. Okay. And so I have 1.16 and 1.39. Step 5, where do we fall? We fall below the 1.16. So our Durbin-Watson test statistic of 1.133869 falls below a Durbin-Watson lower of 1.6. Therefore, we reject H naught. Okay? There is evidence of positive autocorrelation. Okay. And that's wrapping it up, right? We got that positive auto in that particular case. Okay. And that is that.